Tonight, we begin with a public warning that the sugar you are consuming could be poisonous. This after 500 metric tons of condemned contaminated sugar disappeared under mysterious circumstances from a go-down where it was stored. The DCI is now pursuing leads on the whereabouts of the sugar that arrived in the country back in 2018, which could have expired by now. Let's begin our broadcast with our very own Stephen Little.
The Directorate of Criminal Investigations and a multi-agency team is now warning that Kenyans could be consuming poisonous sugar from the shelves. Brown sugar packed in 10,000 bags of 50 kgs, totaling to 500 metric tons, was imported into the country in June 2018 by Miracle Investments Limited from Harare, Zimbabwe. On docking at the port of Mombasa, the 500 metric tons of sugar were processed by KEBS officials and proven to be non-compliant with Kenyan standards or approved standards and condemned. According to the Kenya Bureau of Standards guidelines, the goods that do not conform to the Kenyan standards or approved specifications shall not be permitted into the country and should be reshipped, returned or destroyed at the expense of the importer. After KEBS condemned the sugar, it was taken to a go-down in Makongeni Thika, where it has been suspected to be stored for the last 4 years. However, in December last year, KEBS Managing Director Bernard Njiraine wrote to the Commissioner General KRA saying, quote, KEBS has received a request from the Assets and Cargo Limited for conversion of the subject condemned brown sugar into ethanol through distillation. The letter from KEBS was copied to Industrialization Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria and Head of Public Service Felix Kosgei. Njiraini told the Commissioner General that the Standard Act provides that non-compliant goods be shipped back or destroyed at the owner's cost. In the letter, KEBS went further to note that, however, it has reviewed the process for destruction of the condemned consignment and approved in principle destruction of the subject through conversion into ethanol through distillation from approved manufacturers as an environmentally friendly destruction. The letter from KEBS Managing Director was received by KRA boss 5 days later. Until April this year, KRA had not taken any action, but the 29th of April, Faith Kiara, on behalf of the Commissioner Intelligence, Strategic Operations, Investigations and Enforcement, wrote a letter to release the condemned sugar in Makongeni Thika, with a condition that pending taxes are paid within 30 days after the release. After the two government agencies processed the release of the consignment, KEBS sent its inspection officer to Thika Vineyard Go-Down on 4th May to join the multi-agency team officers and the DCI who were to open the go-down forcefully to confirm if the consignment is still in place. Upon arrival at the Makongeni Go-Down, the team opened the go-down and found that it was empty, despite the existence of KRA seals on the locks of the go-down, pointing to possibilities that the sugar had already hit the market and could be on shelves for sale. DCI has since launched search for the consignment, even as it pursues KEBS bosses over the whereabouts of the condemned sugar that was supposed to be reshipped or destroyed. The matter is now under DCI and the multi-agency team to which DCI are members, and now working together to trace the whereabouts of the sugar that many now suspect could be in the shelves sold to unsuspecting Kenyans. Stephen Leto, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
All right, Leto, thanks so much for that. Now, the head of public service, Felix Kosgei, has this evening announced the suspension of 26 government officials over the contaminated sugar story you just saw a few moments ago. Now, according to the statement earlier released by State House spokesman Hussein Mohammed, the officials were suspended for what Kosgei terms the irregular and criminal release of condemned sugar that had been earmarked for conversion into industrial ethanol. Now, the various departments and officials who have been suspended include from the Kenya Bureau of Standards, The officers suspended are Colonel retired Brian Njiraini, the Managing Director, Dr. Jeffrey Moreira, Director Quality Assurance and Inspection, Hilda Keror, Manager Inspection Mombasa Port Office, Liston Lagat, Assistant Manager ICDN Nairobi, Rono Birgen, Chief Manager ICDN Nairobi, Stephen Owar, Principal Officer, Peter Olima, Joseph Inspector Mombasa. Now, from the Kenya Revenue Authority, the following officials have been suspended: Joseph Kaguru, Mwanja Masinde, Stephen Muiruri, Moses Okoth, Doris Mutembe, Chacha Hondo, Carol Nyangechi, and Derek Kago. From the National Police Service, these two officers have been suspended: George Mithamo and Joel Kirui. And from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, these two officers have been suspended: Bernard Ngumbi, Raphael Mwaka. From the Agriculture and Food Authority, Oscar Kai and Patrick Magut have been suspended. And from the Executive Office of the President, the following officials have been suspended: Joseph Maita Mweni from Port Health, Izako Bonai from NEMA, Stephen Cheruiyot from the Anti-Counterfeit Agency, Daniel Ngugi from KEFIS, Willie Koskei from the EACC, and Edwin Ruto from the KPA.